Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. How can we divert our love for a person to the love of Allah?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. If the person is in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if the person is a man of Allah, don't divert it. Channel it. He will take it, he will channel it. Don't channel it. I mean, don't divert it. If that one is a friend of Allah, a beloved of Allah, and Allah loves that one, and you love him, and shaitan is going to whisper, why are you loving him? You have to love Allah. Or you say, no, I'm not going to love him, I'm going to love Allah. That's the time Allah is going to say, what? What are you doing? I love him. Everyone must love him. Allah loves the Prophet. Everyone must love the Prophet. That's why the shaitan Wahhabis are saying, oh, you cannot love, only love Allah, don't love the Prophet. Because loving the Prophet is not taking that love for himself. He's taking that love and he is channeling it to the love of Allah. If you love an awliya, a wali Allah, a saint of Allah, Allah loves that one. That saint is not going to take the love for himself. He's going to show you to the Prophet ﷺ. But if that person that you love is not in the way of Allah, then be very careful. Because then you're going to make an ilah. And you're going to put it in your heart. That's a time we have to get rid of the shirk. The partnership from our hearts. The idols from our hearts. Are we saying we don't have love for anything else? Love is a big word. Of course, in the English language, love is a cheap word. It's the cheapest word. Love Allah, love Prophet, I love pizza. Same word you're using. I love French fries, ice cream, I love parents, I love car, I love, you use the love for everything else. In so many Eastern languages, languages that have been not only touched by Islam, but Islam has saturated it, has completely taken over it. They don't use the word easily. They cannot use the word cheaply. That's why love in the English language, Western language, is so cheap. And nowadays, 21st century, 20th century, love, when you say love, everybody immediately thinks is below the belly button. It has to be that for the love to be. So if you love someone who is not having Allah and His Prophet in his heart, that time, yes, be careful. What are you going to do? You're going to ask Allah to remove that love. First, you have to understand that that love, it is false and it is fake and it's going to lead you to a disaster. This is if you are looking for Allah. If you're not looking for Allah, what can I do? You can love a person, you can love your rabbit, you can love your dog, you can love anything. It's okay. But if you're looking for Allah, and you say, I reserve love, the highest one, for Allah, and those in whom He loves, then that's the time I say be very careful if you fall in love with someone who is not in the way of Allah. Because you're going to put an idol in your heart, you're going to start worshipping it then. And you're going to get tricked because the ego now is going to get involved. If you love Allah, the ego is not going to get involved. You know why? The ego wants to run away from it. Because the love carries with it so many conditions. Love has laws. Love has rules too. Yes. Love has conditions. Don't think love is free. Only in the West, love is free. And it's very recent idea also in the West that love is free. You think they're talking about love during the time of the Victorian era? They don't care. Only since 1960s. I'm exaggerating, but I'm saying it's very recent. What they say, postmodern development. Before that, it is something else. It's very rare. So what are you going to do? If you love someone, you've given your heart to that one, don't give your heart to him or to her. That feeling that you have, even if it takes over you, it doesn't mean that it is true. Even the old people who are, in the old days, people, the philosophers, whatever they are saying, they understand this kind of love, this kind of obsession, it is a sickness. It is a sickness when you are young. It is a sickness. And it is, a lot of it, it is something that is just imaginary. Something that you imagine, you manufacture, you engineer. It is not something that is true. And not something to say, oh, I can't help it. No, you can't help it. But as you mature, as you get older, as you understand more, then you know that there is a fake love and there is a real love. And what is the feeling of a fake love? What is the feeling of a real love? And that real love is very heavy price that comes with it. And if you can pay it, then that is real. If you cannot pay it, you just have an idea, you want it, but you cannot afford it. So you start to imagine it. Be with those who ask you no fee, and who themselves they are rightly guided. Follow those who ask you no fee. Be with the Salihin. That's the time you will understand, that time, the love of Allah and the love of the Prophet. Be with them, things will fall into perspective. Things will start balancing according to the divine scales, not the dunya scales, not the scale that you imagine it to be. Otherwise, you still come up with your own ideas. You read in a magazine, they tell you one idea. You read on the internet, they tell you one idea. You read in the papers, one idea. Songs saying one idea. Books saying one idea. Movies saying one idea. It's all just mixed up confusion. Follow those who ask you no fee, meaning follow the awliya Allah. Then that's the time you'll understand. May Allah forgive me and bless you for the sake of the Holy Prophet. Al-Fatiha.